Full disclosure, usually when I sit down to record a review, I'll have my laptop on the side with a page or two of notes for me to glance at in between takes so that I can remember my main talking points. I don't have a script above my camera or anything. Everybody seems to think that I'm reading off of a script. Anyways, where I'm going with this is that today I actually don't have any notes sitting next to me, which usually isn't a great sign because it means that I don't have much to say about a movie. And today we're talking about a new slasher film called Hard Eyes. The gimmick here is that this is a Valentine's Day themed slasher. It's also very comedic, lots of dark comedy thrown in there. Clearly it owes some degree of inspiration to films like Scream and many copycats that would come after it. Most notably, I think this is the one that kind of reignited this trend, and that's Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, which was also holiday themed, and that came out back in 2023. Can't believe that was almost 2 years ago. Hard Eyes is set in Seattle. There's a killer on the loose that goes by the name the Hard Eyes Killer, or HEK. What a pointless acronym. Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding star as two coworkers who happen to get caught in the crossfire when the killer mistakes them for a couple because they kiss when they're trying to make Olivia Holt's character's ex jealous. Sometimes I have to sit back and question whether I simply have very bizarre tastes when it comes to slashers, because most slashers in the modern age that critics love, I tend to dislike, and the ones that critics dislike, I wind up generally liking. Especially the David Gordon Green Halloween sequels. The critics disliked that, the audiences disliked those. I like the Scream franchise, but anytime another horror comedy tries to imitate the self-aware nature of that series, it seems to fall flat for me. It fell flat with Thanksgiving, and it falls flat even more here. The problem, at least from my point of view, is that the filmmakers who make these films forget that camp on its own doesn't make your movie good. It still has to be clever, and this is a very witless experience to sit through. It takes the most derivative elements from both the genres, rom-com and slasher, and meshes them together into this predictable, dull, hallmarky mess. All of my complaining might lead you to believe that I hate this movie. I don't hate it. There are some things that I like about it. And normally I don't bring up the critical reception to films when I talk about them in these reviews. But in the case of Hard Eyes, I do think that my negative feelings towards it were slightly inflated by the fact that critics are really liking it. I think it's at like a 90% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes as I'm recording this. Let's start out with the things that I like. First of all, Mason Gooding. Every time I see this dude pop up in a film, whether it's Scream or this, there's something else that he was into, and I can't think of what it is right now. But I really like him. He's got charisma. He is a Nepo baby, but as far as I'm concerned, he's one of the good ones. Olivia Holt is fine, I guess. I mean, I found her dialogue to be atrocious and her line delivery to be equally as atrocious, but I can't really blame her for that because I feel like she was delivering the performance that the movie wanted out of her. I just didn't like the direction they were trying to go with her character, and she came off as flat out annoying. The other major praise that I can give to this movie is that some of the kills are awesome. I do think that the trailer spoiled the best one, so if you don't want to see the best kill in the film, don't watch the trailer. But there is some genuinely gnarly gore thrown in there, some creativity as far as what they do with the camera and some of its dynamic movements during the kills. Some of the chase sequences are pretty fun too, even though I think the characters make some horrible decisions, which I'm not going to sit here and over-criticize a slasher film for having dumb characters. The problem is that everything in between the kills was just dull to me. There's a point in the film where the characters end up at a police station, and everything that takes place after there felt so derivative and utterly predictable, down to the point that I was able to call the killer fairly early on, because this is part whodunit as well. I'm going to give you guys a warning right now. I'm going to talk about some very mild spoilers. I'm not going to talk about who the killer is, but I'm going to talk about the third act a little bit and why it bothered me. This is one of those films in which the killer is super efficient, just axing people left and right with no care for taking their time or being creative about it. That is until the victims are the main two characters. As soon as Hard Eyes starts stalking our leads, he's sloppy, he misses clear swings in which he could have easily killed them, and the amount of monologuing in the third act is ridiculous. It's as if the movie is making up its rules and making up all of these dumb twists as it goes along. None of it feels cohesive or like it was previously telegraphed in a way that's clever or creative and plays on the tropes of Valentine's Day. I don't know, I guess if you're a fan of slashers, take this review with a grain of salt, because I'm the odd man out in this case. I won't waste any more of your time on this. Let's give Hard Eyes 2 stars. I do really think there was potential here. It's just, if the jokes don't make me laugh, then I can't praise the film just because, oh, it's self-aware and it's dumb, but it knows it's dumb. The tone just didn't work for me. But here's the thing, I'm always open to hearing what other opinions are on the movies that I see, so as always, I'm going to turn it to you guys now. Please let me know what you think if you do see Heart Eyes. While you're at it, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Even if you disagree with my opinion, I'd be happy to see you return so that we can have future discussions about other films that we may or may not share the same opinion on. As always, I appreciate all of you for taking the time to watch this video. I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later.